Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. It is Halloween. And before we get any more words out, let's go and get into this weather. The weather in Columbus currently is at 42 degrees. It's 5:30 a.m. And we got a relative humidity level of 92%. The high today is supposed to be 66 and zero chance of that wet stuff. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this stuff we call coffee. Oh, that's hot. But it's so good. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm RJ. If you don't know it already, I live out of a 96 Dodge Ram wagon. Been doing that for over 7 years and work at a car dealership full time. If you've seen yesterday's video, you would have found out what's happening on the 10th of November. The following week, because that took my day off, I went and talked to Tim, and Tim has agreed to let me off the 18th. So this is going to be a fun run. This is kind of like I'm usually off on Mondays. I'm going to take Tuesday because I won't be able to take my off day on this week, so I'll have an extra long weekend. I like this time of year because, you know, let's face it, once September gets here, you have parties and off days and holidays and everything else all the way up until the first of the year, and then it goes. Oh yeah, it's October 31st and it's Halloween. I already said that, but it's episode 304. 304, that means there's 61. Can I see my breath? Oh, I know what it is. It's the coffee. It's making a nice effect on the screen though, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, so the 31st is October is Halloween, and everybody's going out trick-or-treat. It's also, well, month closed out yesterday. I think I'm down to like just 4 tickets that is back in the back office, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving week, and I got to remind myself to turn in my PTO notice on the 10th. What did I eat last night? I got me some chicken thighs I made. And what else did I have with that? I fried me up some chicken thighs in the pan. I used olive oil when I did it. Makes a nice skin and crust and all that. What else did I have? I had something else. I really don't know. It was late when I cooked because I had that massive edit I had to do yesterday that took me forever for nothing. It's good stuff. So it also, with all these little parties and get-togethers and holidays coming up and everything, be mindful. Be mindful. It also is the season to take. Okay, you're gonna have scammers out there left and right trying to get at your dollars, especially right now. And I would also caution. I know this is a touchy subject with November 1st coming up, and it is making a difference because I went into the grocery store yesterday and there ain't as many people in there. Can you imagine that? The Walmart, at the time I was there, is just not packed. It's very, very empty. And Piggly Wiggly, same thing. So it is affecting, and because of that, you know, all the regular scams and things where they call you this, call you that. Well, they're going to tug at your heartstrings, folks, this year, because they're going to use the EBT. And you know what I found out? I was listening to some of these videos and this and that and the other. These people make more than I do. These people were making almost as much as I was when I was working 86 hours a week. Now, tell you a little background history. My mom was an amputee. She had her right arm severed 4 months before I was born. And we were on that, except back then, besides just having paper that you had to go out to, we didn't have a debit card that we had money on that we could go spend and trade out for something else. She had stamps. She had actual stamps. But I remember once a month, and it was a Saturday, every Saturday, she'd leave the house and leave us at home, and she'd go there with her little pulley cart, and she'd come back. And what did she have in her hand? She had several boxes of powdered milk. She had several boxes of government cheese. She had several boxes or two things of 5 pounds of peanut butter. So I'm a government cheese baby. And I can remember some of the things she would cook. She'd get a Salisbury steak dinner and probably 23 pounds of rice. And she'd mix it all together. But she wouldn't add no gravy to it. It'd just be the 6 Salisbury steaks. She'd cut them all up, put them in there. And we'd have this watered out, we'd have this gravy that went for all the, it wasn't 23 pounds of rice. It was like, it was probably 10 pounds of rice. But she had this big old pot she cooked spaghetti in. And Mom kind of overdid it on the food half the time, but that's all right. She had a reason, and here's a reason. So on Monday, we'd start eating this rice, and we didn't know certain things back then, so we could have probably spiced it up a little bit maybe, but here's the way it was and how I grew up. On Monday, we'd have this big pot of, we called it goulash. It was the big hunk of rice, the big pot of rice, with that six-piece Salisbury steak with all its gravy poured into it and mixed up. And then she'd serve it in a bowl to each of us. Well, it didn't take long. Usually by Tuesday night, it was the end of the meeting there, because she'd serve us on the first night, and we'd be heating it up and doing it ourselves the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And by Wednesday, all we had was barely enough gravy to cover the rice, and that would be it. We'd have the rice Wednesday, Thursday, and if there was any left Friday, we had it then. And once or twice there was some left over on Saturday. So Mom got out of it, but we thought we weren't thinking whatever we were thinking. We were, what is this all about? Now we know. She made, Salisbury steak back then. I have no idea, but let's go by today's times. Salisbury steak entree you could get for $4. The rice that she used, you probably get for $3. So for under $8, she fed 4 boys. And mind you, I was the oldest at, as far as I can remember, this going on was about 10 or 8 or something. On that for 5 days. By the second day and the third day and the fourth day and the fifth day, it wasn't very appetizing. It was rice, it was filling, we had our belly full, we were warm and fuzzy inside, but that's what my mom did. Now I'm looking back, I'm like, Darren, I could have threw some rice in there the second day, or get some peas and put in there. And but no, Mom was kind of plain. There wasn't a creative mind there to a degree. But, and we didn't know any better. I'm talking about, it was the 70s. It was the 70s. I think that's the first time I've used that phrase. Yeah, I grew up in the 70s. I'm a Gen Xer. there's certain things about Gen Xers the young people out there don't do. But yeah, that was our meal. That was our meal. And peanut butter sandwiches for lunch with no jelly, because the government didn't give us jelly. But Mom couldn't work, obviously, because, and you know, back then too, we didn't have these slick lawyers. She got her arm cut off from this factory in an industrial accident, and she was handed $5,000. And that was it. And here's the other thing. If it wasn't for Eddie having a mental disability, we wouldn't have been getting whatever it is. Now, she was getting disability. She wasn't getting disability from the state. They wouldn't give it to her. They said she was able to work 100%. She could get a job somewhere. Well, on top of all that, Mom only had a 6th grade education, and but she raised it. She made it work. She did whatever. It wasn't until she moved to Florida, and in I would guess 89 or 87, 89, did she get disability, which is pretty sad. She filed for it in Florida. She moved to Florida. She filed for it in Florida, and within 3 weeks, she had it. And in 6 weeks, she had a check. They recognized the fact that she couldn't work. What was happening, I don't know. But that's the way the system was back then. So with that being said, you know, and I don't want to be technical or whatever, and I'm just going by my experience, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are still going to receive their benefits. WIC, he's not messing with that, because there's a fund for that. And your seniors and all that, and true disabled people. But the rest of the nation, number one, especially, let's put it like this, and I'm probably going to hurt a lot of feelings and lose a lot of subscribers, but you got people that are here illegally, and they're collecting more than I am. I've been working ever since I was 15, but that's neither here nor there, because I think everybody ought to be helped to a point. But when you go in, if you break in somebody's house, you don't get to keep the stuff that's in there. Hey, you broke in my house. Hey, let me buy you this, that, and the other. It don't work like that. So I'm probably going to get slammed and probably going to have a whole bunch of stuff down in the comments. But you know, I don't care, because I lived through it. And I look back and now and see how we lived compared to how these people are living. You know, I don't know about the steaks and the seafood and all this, but when somebody's receiving $4,300 for food stamps, or $6,300 for food stamps, a Section 8, which we had to pay for our own rent. There was no Section 8 back then. We did not get a break on Mom's rent by any stretch. That only happened after that came about maybe in 2002, where that came into play. But yeah, these people are making, these people are receiving funds way more than what I earn in a week or a month. And most of them are able-bodied. And you know, I didn't produce any children, but I raised 3. And I'm okay with that. But they're my boys. But you got people out there that just was popping them out left and right with no whatever, and maybe they got multiple daddies, maybe they don't, maybe, because I know some people, and I'm sitting there like, you can't, why are you doing that? Because, I pay for that, and you working people out there that watch this pay for that. And it just, I don't get the mentality of it, but hey, I'm glad in a way. You got to cut off the spigot, start it over. But if you take all the money that's being spent just on the people that don't deserve it, that are here illegally, that got here illegally, you calm down the debt. Well, you don't calm it down, but you put it's a good thing. And now you can put that money towards the people that really deserve it. And you know, I'm sorry, if you, it takes a village to raise a child. It's time for you single parents to reach out to some of your families and see if you can get assistance with them children. You know, work as a network, babysit each other, whatever it takes, you're gonna do. You know why? Because my mom did. My mom did. There was nothing she wouldn't. I seen her go to bed without eating at night because we were going to eat, and she was going to make sure of it. That's just the way it was. So I don't even think I set a point to all that. But yeah, it just, and I don't get all riled up that much about it, and I don't go through the day thinking about it. But you gotta have, you know, if you were brought up that way, you need to change your mindset. It's much better, because you know, every one of my brothers, except for one that could not, we broke the mold. We busted the system. Whatever term you want to use, we did not follow the footsteps. We could have easily followed the footsteps. And I'm going to tell you something. We were, after it started rolling, we were told how to get it done. We sure was. I wasn't going to go out like that. Except for what my mom used or received, or what I was a recipient of as a child. I got off the government's tit. When I was 16, my mom started making me pay my way. And each one of my brothers the same. So while we were on, when we became 19 or 20, we were cut off from the government. But I was okay, because I already had a good paying job. And my brothers were following suit. But yeah, we were born a welfare baby, and we got off the government's dime. And I'm grateful for everybody that was working back then that pitched in, because I don't know what my mom would have done. But it all worked out. I'm a productive member of society, and now I just live out of my van and go camping. It's great, isn't it? So this weekend I'm probably going to go to Blanton Creek, and next weekend I will stay in town. I'm not sure. I may sleep at the Walmart. Although if I slept over at the studio, because there's a brick wall around it, it would be about 10 degrees warmer, because I wouldn't have no wind. Well, everybody, thank you for stopping by and having some coffee with me. Oh, I opened up a new bag of coffee today. Ran out. There was a little smidge in there, but I love the very first cup out of when I pour it like that, because I can smell it. My sniffer isn't what it used to be. Well, thank everybody for coming by. I appreciate it. I really do. I hope you have had a wonderful Halloween, and be careful of them ghouls and goblins, and keep them safe. And make sure you check all the candy, because there's still people out there that's going to do very bad. And reach out to someone. Have a great day. Hug your kids, and kiss your wife and pet your dogs, and call your mom, because I can't. I can talk to her, but I can't call her. Y'all have a great day, and we'll holler at you later. Bye now.